I say Coastal Cottage, and you think what? That unscrappable ruined house in the middle of the settlement? The unscrappable trees? The unscrappable ruined furniture? That little hole, which is just barely the settlement's only saving grace because it's a nice little hidey hole? Well, Coastal Cottage has a reputation in Fallout 4 for being the worst settlement in the entire game. You can't build shit here without something getting in the way. Unless you're really clever. See, a wise man once told me, if you don't like the look of something, just bury it in concrete. And then I thought, well, I don't like Coastal Cottage. I should bury it in concrete. So that's exactly what I did. See, I was challenged by Coastal Cottage. I wanted to make it a viable settlement for me, my settlers, and potentially even my companions to stay. It was a challenge. It really was. Now, you're probably thinking, well, the clipping issues in Fallout 4, they suck. You can't really do much. Well, I like to think I just got lucky. Well, without further ado, without this shitty introduction, I'm going to show you Coastal Cottage, but as a viable settlement. But first, let's get a rundown of what you need. Shit, spoiler alert. Let's get a basic rundown of what you need. What you really need is one settler, the local leader perk, and enough caps to build a general store trader, and a lot and lots of caps, because you're going to need to buy a lot of concrete. And also the Far Harbor DLC, that part is completely optional. However, I like the looks of the Far Harbor concrete the best, and it was a lot cheaper to build because it didn't require any steel, just concrete. Well, now really, without further ado, let's get into Coastal Cottage as a completely viable settlement. I present to you Coastal Castle. See, I took everything Coastal Cottage was, and I completely covered it in concrete. I have people working here, the pathfinding works perfectly. Well, I shouldn't say perfectly, a lot of people still get stuck in the concrete. But when enemies spawn, they spawn outside the concrete, so it's easy to find and kill them. And really the only kind of trouble that I have is when people want to go back down into their little hidey hole, to which I have left uncovered. See, it's a nice little area. You can stay in if you want. I personally don't. Here's also another little hidey area. It's a nice area to just chill. But the real kit and caboodle of this settlement is all around, basically. So, allow me to give you a small rundown. This is just a small open area where people can go to congregate, to socialize, and to do a little bit of shopping. However, the only shopping I have here at the moment is this general store trader. She was my saving grace when it comes to the settlement because she sold me all the shipments of concrete that I needed. This up here is just the basic tool shed. I don't put anything in here because, you know, I don't use this place as my primary settlement, not right now. So if I do, everything that I have for workshops and crafting and everything is going to go in here. This is the Brahmin pen. I don't know why we have a Brahmin, but he's here, so I'll put him there. This is where we go to eat and just socialize at the end of a long day. I don't know where the bartender is. I don't even think I have him as I don't even think I have a settler assigned to this, but that's besides the point. What this place means is that we just come here to eat. Now, if we just go up these stairs, this was a bitch to place, but I got it working. This is the clinic and the common room. People go here to get patched up and to sleep. However, I really have to work on the interiors for this place because, admittedly, it's not the best, but I did what I could with what I was given. You have to give me credit for that. This is just where people can go to get healed, buy chems, buy stim packs, and to lie down after getting the shit kicked out of them. I don't even know why the beds here are all that placed together that much. Oh, let me just fix that. See, placing enough beds and everything. You know, making sure my settlers stay happy in a settlement as shitty as this one. So, yeah. Space these out evenly. Boom. Now let's head up here, and this is where the actual living quarters are. Mainly it's just a bunch of beds, nothing else. I should put a couple of decorations down, but as you could probably see while I was spacing out those beds, I don't have a lot of room left in the settlement. Well, it's still a work in progress. I just haven't come back here in a little while, and I just wanted to show it off. This is one of the guard desks. She's currently out front in that Vault Tech guard post. And this is the hydroponics bay. I just have a bunch of mute fruit here. I usually have a person here collecting everything and making sure the settlement stays fed. However, this was full of mute fruit, but I didn't want to, have it completely chock full. Because, having too much food, too much water, it makes this place a bigger target than what it really should be. So, I got rid of it to avoid getting attacked. And I also put down some sunroofs for added immersion to help the mute fruits grow. See? Now, let's go up some more. Now, this is just where people can go to sleep. Even more because, what else do you need besides a place to sleep? This is just where people can go out to overlook the beauty of the Commonwealth. This may not be the best place to settle down, but if you build it right, it's a hell of a view. And this is just a small place to go when you're feeling social. If you want to go congregate with your fellow settlers, just have a seat. It's nice and cozy. However, at this point, I have actually reached the settlement build limit when it comes to height, so I had to get creative. Up here, I just remember having this place filled with rugs and shit. But here is the personal room. I actually had to empty this place out after I reached the settlement's build limit when it comes to space. But, yeah, this is just a personal place where the player character can go, have a gas, set themselves at ease, and have a good time. Well, as good of a time as he could have in a settlement as shitty as this. Oh, and I forgot, there's also another little place to go. Let's see if I can reach it. Now, I don't think that you can actually reach it from the inside. We'll have to go outside. So, why don't we go? Here we go. The bridge. To just another small area that people can go. This is another hydroponics area. I don't have any added roofs or anything because, the settlement limitations. Oh, we got some raiders. I don't have the audio turned on to avoid disruptions. However, that really didn't have much of effect as seen. Well, anyway, that appears to be the only raider that wanted to attack us. So, yep, rain allows the settlements and the crops to grow. So the crop's been growing pretty good because of my smart placement of the hydroponics area. Now, I was rudely cut off by the video limit, but anyways, I think that just about covers it. I know it's not much, but I think Coastal Cottage is a hell of a lot more viable of a settlement than what it was. You know, people can actually stay, live here, make a life out of themselves, because honestly, Coastal Cottage on its own was just shit. It was pretty bad. But now that thanks to the concrete provided by Far Harbor and all the other building materials provided by Far Harbor, now that I think about it, I successfully managed to make Coastal Cottage not bad as a place to live as it previously was. Well, that about does it for my Coastal Cottage showcase. This was actually one of my more advanced settlements that I was actually heavily proud of, so I really wanted to share it with you. Well, anyways, my name is Mr. Majestic, and I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, I bid thee farewell. Goodbye, everyone.